Salutations, dear viewers. It is I, Monty, your kawaii fellow. And as always, I invite each and every one of you to be kawaii with me today. Now you may be wondering to yourself, why? Why is the hand-me-down couch sounding so fancy today? Well, my dear friends, there's an introduction to be had. I introduce you to a new chronicle, a new collection of several tales. And while these stories are unique to my wardrobe, every single soul in Lolita fashion has a tale to tell, for each dress has a voice, and each dress has its own history to speak of. And on each episode of this new series, I shall recount to you one dress's tale. Welcome, my friends, to EGL Dress Diaries. Once upon a time, there was a boy who loved Lolita fashion. After tragedy had struck long ago, he was having to pick up the pieces of a broken closet and start a wardrobe anew. The beginnings were going well. The boy already had 2 coordinates under his arsenal, but the boy knew he needed more. His love for the fashion flourished in the online kingdom of Discord, in a land called the Frill Zone Chill Zone. It was there that he found many kind souls, and also many Lolitas with a similar body to his. Together they would lament the incompatibility of their vessels with brand, and sing praises to the indie designers and seamstresses that said those large of bosom, midriff, frame, or posture could too dress like royalty. One of these individuals was indeed royalty, a prince of clockwork. One fateful day, the Clockwork Prince shared a photo of a dress that they had purchased many moons ago. 'Twas the Queen Bunny one-piece in pink by the brand Enchantilic. The boy had instantly fallen in love. He was enraptured by the demure rosy hue. The gold details in the print created a web for the lad's eyes to become trapped in. And of course, the variety of delicately placed rabbits upon the border. These endearing creatures had an ingenious interpretation to claim the best of both worlds, perfectly capturing the form of realistic leoparded, but with all the charm of saccharine bunnies. And what was more, Clockwork had mentioned that this dress was able to fit over their chest comfortably, and the boy knew that he and Clockwork were similar in size. He struck a deal with Clockwork, and with some discussion, a purchase had been made. The time between the transaction and the time that the dress would arrive at the boy's doorstep was, fortunately, short. It was the first time that the boy had ever purchased a brand-made piece, and he was excited to try it on. With a little adjustment and his chest-flattening garment, the dress indeed did lay over his body with no discomfort. However, there was one glaring flaw. The cuffs of the sleeves and the shoulder seams were too tight. It was able to fit, certainly, but the boy was stricken with discomfort. Most distressingly was that the cuff squeezed tightly over the boy's anti-fertility talisman cast in his arm. The boy was distraught. He wished to love this dress, and the ability to appreciate the craftsmanship of brand was just within his grasps. But how could he show proper love to it if he could never wear it? He wished not to sell it, and he didn't want to let go of the garment. Then the boy took a risk. He had recently learned how to sew in order to repair the injury of another dress. It was a dangerous game. It was brand, and the lad had paid sizable coin to attain this dress. But knowing how badly he wanted to keep it, he took the dive. With a seam ripper in hand, he freed the sleeves from their seams and cut downwards to make room on the sides. And his stitches, while amateur and ugly, eventually bore fruit. The dress fit him at last, and now this dress truly belonged to him. And now let us close this premiere episode of EGL Dress Diaries with the coordinates. forgot to film an outro. So I'm just gonna talk candidly here. That was a decent amount of pain, but I think it was kind of worth it. I've had this idea to showcase my dresses for quite a while in this sort of manner, so hopefully you enjoy it. I definitely have more planned. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you to all your support, and I'm going to say also a big thanks to all of the wonderful people supporting me on my Patreon. I've been running my Patreon for about 3 years now, and every single bit of content I do goes on Patreon first. And everyone that pledges a certain tier gets art from me from every month, so that's a pretty good deal. They are a lot cheaper than my usual commissions are, so it's a great deal. Thank you so much for watching. This has been Monty, your kawaii boy, and remember that every day is a great day to uplift yourself and others. Bye!